Hi, Jim Dreyer, Zebra Technologies outside of PackExpo here. We're going to take a look at what the packaging industry has to say for this year. The mood is optimistic to cautiously optimistic. Converting Magazine this morning reported Richard Fox Jr., show committee chairman, saying that the number of exhibitors and registrants at the show this morning shows a sense of positive optimism for the packaging industry for this year. So let's go and take a look and see if he's right.
Okay, you know, it always was interesting to have a real parent that you had to say.
It's pretty optimistic. Here is Bob Luter of the Packer. Bob, you saw some interesting things this morning in seminars. What did you see? What did you hear?
Well, I mean, the key buzzword definitely this morning was sustainability. I went to 3 separate seminars and each talked about sustainability, especially as it pertains to packaging. And the interesting thing was that at 2 different seminars, the speakers threw out the exact same fact that, you know, packaging often gets a bad rap because a lot of it gets dumped in landfill, and then they say that that's unsustainable and that's bad for the environment. But if you take into account food waste is 10 times the amount of packaging waste. So if you have good packaging, you reduce the food waste, and it's a net negative that food packaging is obviously a sustainable product.
Okay.
And now it's more interesting than ever because now they're coming out with these materials that they're making the packaging out of that are biodegradable and more sustainable in itself.
So it seems to be a big theme, sustainability.
Sustainability is a big thing that I'm hearing so far.
No trade show is complete without the squishy ball. Talking to Rick Fox here, president of Fox 4 at PackExpo. Rick, what do you got shown today?
What we have new is a label printer applicator with 2 print heads. A print head at the top and a print head at the bottom. What that allows us to do is to print on both sides of the label. And the application we have here is basically the top print head will print the shipping label, the bottom print head prints your package slip. This provides you a couple of advantages. One is automates something that most people do by hand. The whole system, if you think about the way people normally put a package slip on, is they print the shipping label, then they print the package slip on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, they fold it up, put it in a plastic bag, and put it on there. They've automated that entire process. The second thing this thing does, if you look at a sustainable or green solution, the sustainability part is the fact that since we're using the liner, this liner has a hole in it, we're shipping the liner, a big part of the liner, with the package slip. You don't use the 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, you don't use a plastic sheet, you don't use a package slip. So it's not only a labor-saving solution, it's a sustainable. The system will have 2 XI4, Zebra XI4 printers in it, and we either have 2 serial ports or 1 serial port. And what you basically do is you send the package slips to one of the serial ports, the shipping label to the other. We'll guarantee that the 2 match, so there's no concern of a mismatch. You send a ZPL language to it, it sets it up, the printer takes care of it, matches the 2, you print the 5.
Let's find some barcodes.
Driving something like on the one side of the basically for boxes. Center, a distribution center, a warehouse that has conveyor belts and boxes.
Here with Brett Campbell at Weber Marketing Systems. Brett, what are you showing at PackExpo?
What we're showing at PackExpo, what we'll look at here is print apply. We have a lot of our customers that are printing using a thermal transfer printer. And we've done is we've taken the next step, we've automated that process. What I'll show you here is our 5300, which is a flagship for our printer applicators. In this case, we're going to print and apply labels to adjacent corners of the box. So as the box comes out of the container, we print the lead edge of the product, get the front, and also the side. So what you wind up with in this case is adjacent corner labeling. If you would want to apply 4 labels to a box, we have 2 printer applicators. Every label can be unique. You want to do date coding, lot coding, time stamping, we can do all that as well. Capability of just a straight tamp, corner wrap, or in this case, a twin tamp. So taking the advantages of thermal transfer printing and automating that for someone who's got their product there.
Maybe you can just wait. Some things are just for the show.
Here with Wes Iverson, Automation World. Wes, end of day one, anything interesting you've seen today? Any trends?
Well, I did attend a couple of sessions earlier today about lean manufacturing. Those were kind of interesting. One had to do with lean manufacturing in a high-speed manufacturing environment, which is a little different game than Toyota originally came up with. So there were some interesting things there. Another one had to do with lean. What was it? But in any case, the stuff here at the Zipper booth is quite interesting as well, I think, particularly the heavy-duty machines that you've got in place here and introducing at the show. That's good. Saw a few interesting robotics things, small KUKA Delta-style robots, which are interesting as well. The first day of the show seems to have been reasonable in terms of traffic. I think most of the vendors that I've talked with are reasonably well satisfied. Hoping for a better day tomorrow on Wednesday.
Excellent. Thanks a lot, Wes.
All right.